Today I want to share with you how you can improve your speed on track, but in a bit of a different way. Race drivers, welcome to another Race Driver Coach show, and we're getting straight back to the brass tacks of you being fast as a race driver. Last week, to give you a bit of a backstory, last week I went to Anglesey with the race team to train one of the drivers that I've been working with for a while. But instead of just going on track, giving him a good setup, watching him go, having a look at the data, this is what you can improve on compared to your teammates, send them back out, and they just do the run-of-the-mill kind of test. This was a specific test. Only us on track, my driver and an F3 driver, which we got in to put him head-to-head against a top-level driver to see how he fares up, to train. So this is more like sparring for a boxer. I'm going to put you in a ring with somebody who has strengths in the areas that I think that we're weak at, and you're going to smash the hell out of each other all day. That's pretty much what we did. And then we just exposed the driver. And the driver I'm with, they don't mind because they see it as training. The driver that's there as a reference driver, they're there to help the driver. It's like, come on, we can do this. So everyone's together collectively, the engineer, the team and everything, just to improve the skills of that driver in a very specific way. And that's something I don't see in the industry enough. We just go there and try and run before we walk. And there's no true training like you would in a normal sport. Yet in racing, we kind of think we're just going out and, you know, mileage is more important than anything else, getting the kilometers under your belt, new tires and all this. But actually, the basics, you being up to speed quick, you being able to handle different challenges that you're thrown at, that are thrown at you in a proper orchestrated test day, and changing the setups and different drills. That's how you train any person in any other sport, and that's how you should train a driver. Now normally we do it on the sim, right? We do as much as we can on the sim, but it's not quite there. It's not right, you know that. Being in the real car, head to head, sparring like this, I think that's where it's at. Now, just before we get into this, there's something to remember. This costs a lot of money. Now just imagine what we did here. We went to a track where we could nearly hire the track. There was someone else on there, but at a different time than us. It cost money to do that. It cost money then to hire 2 cars, not just one, because you need to buy one for the reference driver or hire one for the reference driver as well. And you've got to pay the reference driver to be there. So that whole race team is there for 2 cars and a reference driver just for you to train. So it's not for the faint heart, that's for sure. It's not for somebody who can't really afford to pay for another car, can barely afford to pay for their own. So that's the disclaimer here. This is the only problem. However, if you can't afford that and you are racing, maybe you've got a teammate. Maybe you've got a teammate that also wants to work on their own things, and maybe you're stronger in them areas and they're stronger in other areas. So you can still use your teammates as long as you orchestrate, or design, should I say, the day to be built this way. It's you, both of you, the other driver if it's a teammate, going through drills that are going to improve you. So yeah, it costs a lot of money the way we did it, but that's what we did. Activity wise, we sent them out, never together, sent my driver out first and then the other driver about 20-30 seconds later. And they started the day by getting up to speed. Obviously, we've got to get their eye in. They want to get to a certain benchmark where, you know, after 40 minutes or so, they kind of, well, that's where I'm at. After that, we started to get into the specific drills. Now the first drill was how quick can you get up to speed? So the second session, going in cold without any warm up, it was like, right, we want you to go out, warm the tires up and see how fast you can go and how early you can go that quickly. So we sent them out with that purpose. How quick can you get up to speed? And the reference driver was unbelievable at this. He did one actual out lap, and by the time he was coming past the pit lane the first time, he was nearly flat in turn 1. Which is only nearly flat on hot tires, on a new set of tires, but he did it on lap 1. My driver took 3 laps. So it's like, brilliant. We know what to work on today, or should I say, one part of today is going to be all about that. So then we had a look. We didn't show him much data as well, my driver, so he had to figure things out, because that's another thing, right? If you're always being shown what to do, the other driver's doing this, you do this, you don't really learn. It's like having sat-nav in the car on your phone, which we all do. You don't really learn the route, you just react. Okay, I've got to go left here, right there, I should do this. You don't really learn the way to go or remember. that easily compared to if you just had to find your own way. Same for data. If we take that away from the driver and all we say is turn 1 and 2, you got to find more time, 2/10, then they have to think about it. Then they have to explore, which is, these training days have so many different side benefits. That's one that I kind of had in the back of my mind, but it became a big deal. It's like, actually, let's do that again. Go and figure it out again. And he wouldn't, and he'd be scratching his head. That's what you need when you're trying to master a craft. Anyway, so next time he went out, all the focus was on, can you get up to speed faster? And he did. He brought it down to then the second lap. He was just as quick as he was later on in that corner, and then he got it down even more. So it just became like a thing where, remember that you've got to do this in race weekends from time to time. You're going out for qualifying, and even though the optimal lap is probably the third push lap on them tyres, you get a lot of yellow flags in this championship. So sometimes you've just got to do it. And even if the tyre's not ready, you've got to get on with it. Or there's a rain cloud coming, so you've got to get a lap time in quickly. Your ability to go out and put a lap in immediately without warming up and feeling your way into it, that's a skill that F1 drivers train all the time. There have to be a switch. It's your out lap on cold tyres, go, push, park it. That's it. That's all you get, unless it needs another warm-up lap because it's the way the track and the tyres are. You've got to be like a switch as a race driver. So that's another thing we trained. Then we started to change the setups. Did something to the rear of the car, didn't tell them what we were doing. Did the same to both cars, sent them, see who handles it better. Got their feedback. What did you feel? How did you respond in the car? Then we showed them the data to say, look, this is how you're supposed to respond to the car being in this state. And it was oversteery. And then we changed it to understeer, send them out again, head to head, 4 push laps. That's all they get. So they don't get much time to feel what they're doing. Come back in, debrief. Again, this is what you should do next time, and keep drilling that. So, and then it was a double new sets at the end of the day to see, a head to head, let's go for it. And it's amazing. That day, the driver took more from that day, and so did I, because I love these training days. That's what a coach loves, to train, not just to be on the sidelines. When you're in these days, you just absorb so much information, you train on the things you want, and then you go into the next race weekend with so much more confidence, knowing that you've sharpened those weapons that you need to fight with in that race weekend. I want you to make sure that you do that with your test days. And if you can't afford this, and you're on the simulator, you're doing online racing, fine, do it on there. Do drills there. Invite someone who's really good. Get the data out. See what you can both do drill-wise. Get a coach. Just work with somebody who's forcing you to work on the areas that are bringing you down. And get fascinated with getting your ass kicked, because you're going to take from that and work on things, and you'll be unstoppable.